I came to Greece to find the spots everyone overlooks, the places that feel like a secret only locals know. Hidden Greece gems is our hook. No Santorini crowds, no postcard cliches, just raw, breathtaking corners that made me fall in love with this country all over again. Background music throughout sets the mood. Captions at the bottom of the screen keep the story clear. My voice guides you like a friend dragging you off the beaten path. This video is for anyone who wants to trade crowded cliffs for quiet monasteries, tourist traps for timeless villages, packed beaches for secluded coves. I'll show you 10 places that are cinematic, authentic, unbelievably photogenic. Stick with me. We're diving deep into landscapes, food, culture, and the kind of experiences that make travel epic. We filmed everything for YouTube 16:9 with lots of B-roll, aerials, close-ups, street life, sunsets. First up, Meteora. Imagine monasteries perched on sandstone pillars like something ripped from a fantasy movie. The view is jaw-dropping. Monasteries clinging to vertical cliffs, clouds drifting through the valleys and trails that lead to horizons you won't forget. Hiking here feels epic. Each switchback reveals another monastery, another perspective. The air smells like pine and centuries of prayer. I remember standing on a viewpoint and realizing the world felt quieter, bigger, somehow more sacred. The history is heavy in the best way. These monasteries date back centuries, hidden from invaders and time itself. Walking the courtyards, you see frescoes and artifacts that feel like secret pages from history. For photographers, Meteora is a dream. Golden hour here turns those pillars into towers of fire. We shot drones, wide lenses, and close-ups of stone steps worn smooth by generations. Every angle felt cinematic. Practical tip: come early to beat the bus crowds. Bring sturdy shoes for the trails and respect the sacred spaces. This isn't about selfies, it's about feeling awe. Next, Nafplio, a coastal town that feels like walking into a romance novel. Narrow, cobbled streets lead to seaside cafes, and Venetian fortresses loom over blue water. It's intimate and timeless, a perfect place to slow down. We wandered through plazas where locals sip coffee at noon, and every corner seemed to offer a postcard-perfect view. The Old Town is pastel houses, bougainvillea, and hidden staircases that invite exploration. The fortress on the hill gives sweeping views of the Argolic Gulf. Climb the steps and let the panorama settle in. We filmed people watching, fishermen hauling in small catches, and couples lingering at sunset. Ottoman architecture, Venetian architecture. There are quiet bookshops, artisan stores, and family-run taverna tables where you feel part of the story. Tip: stay at a small guest house in the Old Town for authentic mornings and evening walks with almost no crowds. It's an offbeat coastal stroll that's all about savoring the moment. Monemvasia is a medieval rock city carved from a cliff and isolated by sea, like a movie set that history forgot to tear down. You walk through a single gate into narrow lanes, stone houses that whisper tales of centuries gone by. The sensation here is of stepping into a time capsule. Tiny chapels, crumbling walls, and olive trees that have watched generations pass. We filmed late afternoon light slinking through the alleys, turning stone to warm gold. The dramatic sea cliffs create cinematic viewpoints at every turn. From the top, you can see endless blue and the jagged coastline. From within, the streets feel cozy, lived in, and secretive. Dining in Monemvasia is unforgettable. Table by the sea, simple seafood and wine poured like conversation. We tried traditional dishes and talked with locals who told us stories about the rock's past. Practical advice: bring comfortable shoes for cobblestones, allow time to wander without a map, and catch the sunset from the outer walls for a moment you'll never forget. Zagori and Vikos. Gorge are rugged and raw stone bridges arch over crystal streams. Villages cling to forested slopes. Vikos Gorge is one of the deepest in the world. The scale of it hits you in the chest. We crossed ancient stone bridges, walked trails cut into rock, found villages with slate roofs, wood-fired ovens. The atmosphere felt like a living storybook, remote, resilient, and utterly captivating. Trekking into Vikos Gorge is an adventure. Switchbacks, cool shade, sudden drops into a canyon that looks impossibly green and deep. We filmed river crossings, cliffside viewpoints, hikers catching their breath. The local hospitality here is fierce and warm. Guest houses are family-run food as hearty evenings. Feel like gatherings of storytellers. We stayed in a small village and felt welcomed like kin. Tip: prepare for uneven trails and varying weather. Hire a local guide if you want hidden routes, and bring a camera with good stabilization. The vistas are worth every step. The Pelion Peninsula feels like Greece's green heart, slopes covered in plane trees, waterfalls tucked into ravines, and villages that blend mountain charm with seaside calm. Sagarada Miles. We drove winding roads through forests, stopping at small squares where children played and elders watched from cafe chairs. The air smells of chestnut and sea, a combo that's hard to beat. Sagarada's giant plane tree and Miles' historic train station are photo magnets. We hiked to waterfalls, swam in clear streams, and filmed villagers making chestnut desserts handed down for generations. The beaches on Pelion are an extra surprise. Pebbled coves with crystalline water framed by lush hills. It's nature first travel, waterfalls in the morning, seafood by evening, and stars at night. Tip: rent a car for flexible exploration, stop at farms for local produce, and follow small footpaths that lead to hidden waterfalls and overlooks. Simi is a pastel postcard come to life. Narrow harbor promenades, neon-colored houses stacked like cake tiers, quiet bays perfect for anchoring a small boat. It's island life without the frenzy. We sailed into Simi's harbor and immediately felt calmer. The architecture is charming, the tavernas are family-run, and the pace is gentle, perfect for a slow day of wandering and eating. Simi's coves are ideal for swimming and snorkeling in turquoise water. We hopped from bay to bay, filmed underwater close-ups, and lounged on warm rocks while fishermen repaired nets. The monastery of Panormitis is a spiritual highlight, ornate icons and a sense of pilgrimage that contrasts beautifully with easy island rhythms. It's a place to reflect and roam. Tip: explore by foot or boat, sample Simi shrimp at a harbor taverna, and visit during shoulder season if you want fewer tourists and softer light for photos. Chapter 7. Carpathos is raw and unfiltered. Long beaches, traditional mountain villages, and wind that sculpts the coastline, you know? It's a magnet for windsurfers and anyone who wants a tough, beautiful escape. We drove to mountain villages where women still wear traditional dress and men tell stories over coffee. Every village felt proud and rooted, a real connection to old island life. The beaches are wild, golden sand, shifting dunes, and waves that call to surfers. Really dramatic. We filmed kiters launching, locals casting nets, and sunsets that set the sea on fire. Cultural festivals here are intense and joyful. Folk music, dance, and food served in generous portions. We were invited to a celebration and learned a traditional dance, awkward, fun, and unforgettable. Tip: if you love wind sports, come prepared. If you love culture, come with curiosity and respect for local traditions that remain vivid here. Kythera sits between Peloponnese and the islands. A quiet crossroads, secluded beaches, Venetian castles, sleepy villages where life moves at island speed, you know. It's surprisingly diverse for such a small island. We explored bays that felt private, climbed to Byzantine castles with sweeping views, wandered villages, stray cats everywhere, alleys that tell a story. The island's beaches range from pebbled coves to wide sandy stretches. Many require a little effort to reach. That effort pays off, near empty shores and gleaming water. The food on Kythera felt homemade, mountain honey, slow-cooked local stews, and simple seafood caught that morning. We filmed family kitchens and plates passed around communal tables. Tip: rent a scooter for flexible exploration, bring cash for small tavernas, and take the quiet roads to find beaches that feel like your own private escape. Amorgos is cinematic in the truest sense, dramatic cliffs, the whitewashed Hazoviatasa monastery clinging to rock and water so clear it looks painted. It's remote and unforgettable. We hiked the narrow paths to Hazoviatasa and felt tiny against the cliff. The monastery's architecture and the views beyond create a feeling of solitude that's almost holy. Amorgos's beaches are pristine with water that goes from turquoise to cobalt in meters. We dropped into coves, filmed long lenses pulling in cliffs, and tiny fishing boats and swam in empty bays. The island's pace encourages reflection, long walks, small cafes, and simple tavernas where dishes are served with patient pride. We chatted with locals who welcomed us like old friends. Tip: pack good hiking shoes, plan for some steep trails, and bring spare batteries. You'll want to film every cliff stairway, and Sea Plunge Serifos embodies cycladic grit. Rugged hills, golden beaches, a laid-back vibe that feels refreshingly real. Skip the crowds and soak up a simpler island rhythm here. We wandered Kora's narrow alleys, climbed to castle remains for wide sea views, beaches where sunbeds are optional, peace is guaranteed, the kind of place you stay longer than planned. The island's mining history gives it an edge. Stone houses, open landscapes, mining ruins, a sense of resilience that's beautiful. Locals are proud and relaxed, inviting you into their world without pretense. Dining is honest and flavorful. Fresh fish, local cheeses, plates made with care. We ate under umbrellas and watched fishermen bring in the day's catch like a ritual. Tip: arrive ready to unwind. Take small roads to discover hidden coves and bring a good hat. The sun here is honest and strong. We just sprinted through 10 secret Greek spots that prove this country is so much more than Santorini postcards. From sky-high Meteora to the pastel calm of Simi, each place gave us jaw-dropping views, heartfelt hospitality, and moments that felt like discoveries you get to keep. Background music fades gently as we wrap up. Captions at the bottom remind you where to find each B-roll moment. If you love the scenery, the people, the tips, imagine walking these streets yourself. Travel is about swapping the obvious for the unforgettable, choosing a quieter road, a stranger's song, a hidden beach. That's what Wayfinder stands for. Deeper travel, real connections, bravery to skip the crowds. So pack light, bring curiosity, go find these hidden Greece gems. If this video helped you plan a trip or just inspired you to dream, like, subscribe, and tell us which place you'd visit first. I want to hear your pick.